Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where I'll be taking you through the openstacks.org textbook called Prealgebra, second edition. And I'm in the section 1.1 called Introduction to Whole Numbers. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through some of the section 1.1 exercises, particularly those under the heading Round Whole Numbers. Yeah, so here we are at openstacks.org, Prealgebra, second edition, 1.1, Introduction to Whole Numbers. And I'm in the section 1.1 exercises at the end of the section. So it's assumed that you've done all the reading before this. And I've made videos on these other exercises here with the other headings. We're going down here to this one with the heading round whole numbers, right? So remember, rounding means estimate, approximate, right? Round. So before I get to these exercises, right, I want to suggest that, for each exercise, pause the video before you watch me do it and try to do it yourself. Try to work out the answers yourself. And then, come back, watch me do it, and compare your work to mine, compare your answers to mine, and see how well you're picking things up. Because if you're just watching these, watching me do them, and not doing any work yourself, there's a good chance you're not going to be picking up the material as well as you'd like. All right. So in the following exercises, we're asked to round to the indicated place value. Okay, so for the first couple, I'll write out the procedure. Again, this isn't going to be a lesson on rounding again. That was previously in the book. I've done videos on all the sections from the reading with the examples and try it problems. So I'm just going to be going through and performing the rounding, performing the estimations, the approximations. So exercise 43, got two parts, part A and B. And for each of them, we're asked to round to the nearest 10. Okay, so number 43. For the numbers we are given, now we're asked to round to the nearest 10. Right, so pay attention to the place value being brought up. We're going to the closest 10 place, 10 digit. Part A, the number being given to us is 300, 3 in the hundreds place, 86. All right, so again, I'm only going to write this out for the first couple of these, just this first problem. We're rounding to the nearest 10. So locate the digit in the tens place, right? That's the 8, right? That's in the tens. Then they had you underlining, the digit to the right of it. And that would be in the ones place here, this 6. And then the question was, is this digit 5 or greater, right? So are we closer to 390 or 380? And since this is 5 or greater, right, 6 is greater than 5, we are closer to 390 than we are to 380. So what you'll do in that case is, add 1 to this tens digit, and they would say that 386 is approximately, right, this, you might see this wavy equal sign once in a while. Okay, the wavy equal sign means approximately, right, roundabout. It's an estimate. It's not exact. So 386 is approximately 390, right, when rounding to the nearest 10. Okay. Then part B, same thing, we're given a number and asked to round to the nearest 10. So this number in part B is 2,931. So once again, I locate, here is the tens place, right? The digit in the tens place is 3. And I underline, the digit right next to that, which is 1 in the ones place. Now that is less than 5. So that means that we're closer to 2,930 than we are to 2,940. Right, we're going to the closest 10. So when I write the approximation, when I do the rounding, we don't add anything to the tens digit. We're closest to 2,930. It stays the way it is. And then everything to the right of the place that we're rounding to is a 0, right? Like up here. Zeros to the right of the tens place. Same thing here, 0 to the right of the tens place. There you go. 2,931 is approximately rounds to 2,930 when going to the closest 10, the nearest 10. And that's it for 43. Now, being an odd numbered problem, you saw this in previous videos, hopefully. You can check the answer key where, see the solutions. And it's never a bad idea to check your work, double check your work. So odd number problems have a link. You click on the link, it takes you to the solution in the answer key, and you see 43, part A, 390. That was what we had written on the paper. Great. Part B, that number rounded to 2,930 when we rounded to the nearest 10. And that's exactly what I had written. Wonderful. All right, so then go back, click on the number again, takes you back to the section. Well, maybe not the exact number. I just scroll up a bit. There was number 43, and we're back. Okay. So again, I'm not going to do all that writing like I did with the last problem, but I'll still point out, what place value we're rounding to, and we'll look at the digit to the right of it and see if it's 5 or greater or less than 5, right? Are we closer to the larger place value or the smaller one? All right, so number 44, same thing. We have two numbers, two parts, A and B. And in each of these, we're once again asked to round to the nearest 10. So this will be very similar to number 43. So 44. We're rounding. I'm just going to put what we're rounding to. We're rounding to the nearest 10. Pay attention to the place value that you are given. All right, part A, we're given the number 792. 9 is in the tens place. So look at the number to the right of that, 2, and that's smaller than 5. So we are closer to 790 than we are to 800. Right, that would be the next 10, 79 tens than we are to 80 tens. So when rounding to the nearest 10, right, this will be approximately 790. And that's it. Part B. We're given the number 5,647. Once again, we're asked to round to the nearest 10. Here's the tens place, this 4. So you look at the place to the right of it, 7. Now 7 is 5 or greater. So that means we're closer to 5,650 than we are to 5,640. So I'd round this up to, add 1 to the tens digit here. This will round up to 5,650, or not and 50, sorry, just 5,650. And that is all. Very quick and easy, right? Just locate the place you're rounding to. Is the digit next to it? Is the digit directly to the right of it 5 or greater? You bump it up by 1. And if it's less than 5, you don't change it at all. Now for the even numbered problems, like 44 here, you're just going to have to believe me that this is correct. There's no answer to the even numbered problems in the answer key in the text. But hopefully with all the experience you've had in reading the section, practicing the examples, the try it problems, even the previous exercise, number 43, you can understand that, yes, these indeed are the correct estimates, the correct approximations. Okay. Next, number 45. So they changed the place value on us. They're saying round now to the nearest 100. The nearest 100. Okay. So there's room here. I'll do it on the same page. Number 45. This time, we're asked to round these numbers to the nearest 100. Okay, so once again, pay attention to the place value being given to you. So part A, the number given to us is 13,748. All right, so this time the hundreds place we'll locate, right? So here it is. This digit 7 is in the hundreds place. Look at the tens place now, right? The digit directly to the right of that, and that's 4. There's 4 in the tens place, which is less than 5. So we are closer to 13,700 than we are to 13,800. So this will approximate to 13,700. Right? When the number is less than 5 to the right of it, you don't change it. And there are zeros after it, when you're rounding. So there's the nearest 100 to 13,748. And then part B, same thing, given a number. Part B is 391,794. So again, we are asked to round to the nearest 100. I locate the hundreds digit, that is this 7 again. The digit directly to the right of it is in the tens place, that's this 9. And that is 5 or greater. So we're going to round up. So we are closer to 391,800 than we are to 391,700, right? So when I'm rounding to the nearest 100, this will be rounding to or approximately equal to 391,800, right? We bumped this up by 1. And then zeros after it, right? After the place we're rounding to. Okay. Let's check it. All right, it's an odd numbered problem. Might as well. Can't hurt to check your answers. So for number 45A, 13,700, as I have written. Part B, 391,800, exactly as I have written. Excellent. All right. And number 46. All right, moving right along. So another problem, another exercise where we're asked to round to the nearest 100. So I'm doing the same thing that I did in the last exercise, right? Number 45. So here in number 46, we're rounding to the nearest 100 again. All right, and part A, the number being given to us is 28,166. Okay, so the hundreds place digit is this 1. The one to the right of that is in the tens place is this 6. And that is 5 or greater, so we're going to bump this up by 1. So when I round to the nearest hundredth, right, this is closer to 28,200 than it is to 28,100. And that's it. Easy peasy. Part B, another 6-digit number. You have 481,628. Again, I'm rounding to the nearest hundred, so I locate the hundreds place, right? That's this digit 6. The digit in the tens place directly to the right of it is 2. That is less than 5. So that means we're closer. We're going to round down. We're not doing anything to this 6. We're closer to 481,600 than we are to 481,700, right? So this will round be approximately equal to 481,600. That would be the closest hundred to our number. Great. And again, you can't really check these, but based on previous experience and all the other exercises, these are correct. Right? Okay, number 47. All right, so back here, 47. All right, so we're back to rounding to the nearest n. All right, n's place. So 47, rounding to the nearest 10 again, like in the first couple exercises in the video. Part A in 47 is 1,492. All right, so the tens digit is this 9. The ones, the one right next to that is the ones digit 2. That is less than 5. So we round down, don't change this. So we are closer to 1,490 than we are to 1,500, right? 149 tens. We're closer to that than we are to 150 tens, right? When I bump this up by 1. But we're closer to 1,490. Okay. Whereas in part B, we would round up. Part B, you have 1,497. So again, I locate the tens digit, which is this 9 again, in the tens place. The one directly to the right of it is the 7 in the ones place. Now this is 5 or greater. So I'm going to add 1 to this. Now that'll make this into 10, which will have bumped this up by 1 as well. Basically, you're thinking about 149 here. Add 1 makes it 150. So instead, and because this is 5 or greater, we are closer to 150 tens, so 1,500, than we are to 149 tens, right? 1,490. So I'm going to round this up to 1,500, 1,500. That is closest to that 10, 150 tens, as than it is to 149 tens. Great. And since it's odd, let's check it out. So 47, A 1,490, which is what I have. B 1,500. Excellent. All right, then back. That was number 47. All right, so now 48. 48, we are asked to round to the nearest 1,000, right? This is the first one with the thousands place being mentioned. All right, so number 48. rounding to the nearest 1,000. So the number in part A is 2,391. So again, the nearest 1,000. So I locate the digit in the thousands place, which would be this 2. The one right next to it in the hundreds place is less than 5. So that means we're going to round down. We are closer. This number is closer to 2,000 than it is to 3,000, right? So when I round this to the nearest 1,000, it's going to round or be approximately 2,000. Right? We are closer to that 1,000 than we are to 3,000. Wonderful. Part B, same thing. Round to the nearest 1,000. And the number we're given is 2,795. So once again, I'm locating the digit in the thousands place, and that would be this 2. Then the number right next to it, to the right of it, in the hundreds place is this 7. And 7 is 5 or greater. So we're going to round up, bump this up by 1. We are closer to 3,000 than we are to 2,000. So this will round to 3,000. And that's that. Wonderful. Nearest thousands. All right, the next number 49. All right, so 49, we're back to being asked to round to the nearest 100. All right, so again, you're locating the hundreds place and then looking at the tens place to see if you round up or down. All right, so 49, has to round to the nearest 100. All right, part A, we're given 63,994. So the hundreds place is this 9 right here. That's in the hundreds place. Next to it, to the right, is the tens place, which is 9, and that's 5 or greater. So we're going to bump this 639 here up by 1, make it 640. Right? So we are closer to 64,000 than we are to 63,900. All right, 640 hundreds. We're closer to 640 hundreds than we are to 639 hundreds. Right, that's the nearest hundred. So we bump that up by 1, round up, and this will round to 64,000. Right, 640 hundreds. Whereas in B, pretty similar number, we're given 63,949. Once again, I'm rounding to the nearest 100. I locate the hundreds digit. That's this 9. The one right next to it is this 4. That is less than 5. So we're going to round down. So we're closer to 63,900 than we are to 64,000. Right? Closer to 639 hundreds than we are to 640 hundreds. Right? So round down. Digit stays the same. 63,900. And again, being a odd numbered problem, let's check it out. 49, A, 64,000, B, 63,900. Wonderful. All right, and then finally, right, the last exercise in this round whole numbers heading, number 50. Whereas to round to the nearest, 1,000 again, right? So we got the thousands place that we're looking at. So for 50. Rounding to the nearest 1,000. All right, part A. The number we're given is 163,584. All right, so I'm rounding to the nearest 1,000. The digit in the thousands place is the 3. The one right next to that is 5, and that's 5 or greater. So there, we're going to round up, right, plus 1 here and make this 164. Right. We are closer to 164,000 than we are to 163,000. Right. So this will be approximately 164,000 when rounded to the nearest thousand. And then the last one for this video, part B, given a pretty similar number to part A, it's 163,246. And we're rounding to the nearest thousand. So once again, locate the digit in the thousands place, right? That would be that 3. The number right next to it, to the right place, in the hundreds place is 2. That's less than 5. And since that's less than 5, we add nothing to the thousands place here. We're going to round down, right? This number is closer to 163,000 than it is to 164,000. So we're going to round this to 163,000. Right, and that is that. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so the next video I put up, I'll be taking you through these everyday math exercises. And that'll be it for the section, because the writing exercises, answers will vary for those, and the self-check is for yourself to do. So I'm going to stop at the everyday math video exercises. All right, but that'll be next time. And thank you very much for watching.